Good morning and welcome everybody to episode number 20 of Noodle Doodle. This is BOT10ART. My name is Lazaro Gomez, and this is my podcast that I lovingly call Noodle Doodle. Basically, the way it works is I pick a prompt from my 300 drawing prompt book. Uh, of course, there's different kinds of prompts that are in the book, and then I pick a topic. It's usually art related, and just kind of noodle and shoot shoot stuff out of my brain. And we do this for about 30 minutes. So interesting enough, today's today's prompt was something busting into flames. So something busting into flames. And immediately I thought, man, that was this week's Friday night live stream. um, usually usually when I do these shows, I do three shows a week. So Friday night, I do the Friday night live stream where I kind of hang out with my art familia, the art community, and we kind of we pick a topic. Usually, we do either artwork or model building or just 3D printing and props and stuff like that. So that's the Friday night live stream. On Saturday, um, I do the Saturday night hangout on D Live, and that's where you get to see, stuff like this. So yesterday I did a Naruto piece, and that kind of that kind of redeemed the catastrophic failure that was this Friday's live stream. And then of course on Sunday morning, we're all coming down. You guys may be nursing some hangovers or whatnot. But I do my podcast at 10 a.m. And like I said, I saw this topic, something bursting into flames, and thought about my podcast, or sorry, thought about the Friday night live stream, and and then I said, well, this will be a great topic. This will be a great topic to discuss here on Noodle Doodle. You may be watching it in a lot of different places. I'm broadcasting right now to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and D Live. So wherever you are, I want to say good morning. If it's your first time watching this, then welcome. Sit back, relax, enjoy yourself a nice cup of coffee or however it is that you start your morning. Just I want you to feel nice and calm and chill and just laid back and watch some artwork happen while we talk about crashing and burning, like total crash and burn. And for me doing the Friday night live stream, or any show, even this one, there is a excuse me, there's a flow, if you would, right? A flow or a vibe, or however it is. It sounds really weird, and I'm not one of these people that are highly superstitious or anything like that, but I am an artist and I am ritualistic. And so everything has to kind of flow in a certain way, right? And I start early in the week thinking about, what am I going to do for the Friday night live stream? What am I doing on Saturday? And what I'm doing on Sunday. So Saturday is pretty easy. It's a given. The community kind of reaches out and says, hey, I saw you did the Naruto. It'll be great if you did Charmander or whatever. So that one's pretty easy. I just fire up OBS and I have my watercolors and my microns, and I just go to town, right? And I interact with the community there. Friday night live stream is a little bit more intense. That's the flagship of BOT10ART. So it's very interactive. The community there is very active. They're well involved. We have a good time. We play trivia. I give a strange fact of the week, and so on and so forth, right? So then after the show, I go to dinner. We normally go to Culver's, and it just flows. It's like a train on a track, and it just flows, right? And then on Sunday morning, I get up, I brew my coffee, and just kind of sit back and chill, just like we're doing right now. And it's peeling back all the layers of the onion. It's just raw. It's here we are, and we're just talking about stuff. So for me, it was so crazy. It was crazy because on the outside, like I like to think that there is what do you call that? Like a garrison or a border of some kind between BOT10 art and my audience because they want to be entertained. They want to see something cool. Uh, they want to interact with me and all of those good things. And of course, it's up to me. It's my job um, to provide that, right? To provide great content, to provide something that's worth watching or worth staying engaged with, right? And so that that pressure is in my mind. It's like, okay, is everything set? Did I get the right graphics? Did I, oh man, okay, I got to put this here. I got to change that. I got to tell everybody on Instagram what's happening, and and all the different social media sites, and pick a topic that I could stay. Pick a topic that's basically relative to what's going on. So in my mind, I'm like, well, Endgame is coming out. Let me do some kind of art related piece to Endgame, and I work all that out. I did all the thumbnails. The thumbnails were hilarious. They're funny, um, and that's what I like. I like to stay lighthearted. Very upbeat and humorous, and I would say like 99% of the time I am right. I'm a very like happy person. I play pranks on people. I joke with everyone, um, and kind of keep the ball rolling that way. So everything was going great, and I'm like, sweet. We're gonna do this Avenger piece. It's gonna be awesome. I got my trivia queued up. I got everything queued up, and then and then like at the beginning of the show, since I started doing multi-streaming, I had to open certain windows and this and that, and that's when I started feeling the burn. I started feeling the burn. I'm like, oh my god, my show's gonna crash and burn. This is ridiculous. Oh, what am I gonna do? And there's absolutely nothing you can do once you're live. It's like go for it. You gotta really go for it and not and not worry about it. So again, going with the barrier, from the outside looking into BOT10 art, everything seems pretty normal. It's like, what are you talking about? Like the show was fine, but on my end, it's like five, like fire alarms are going off. Yes, sir, we're gonna crash and burn. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Oh my god, and it's like all this stuff is going in my head, and I'm just like, I'm sweating, and I'm like, oh, I just gotta get past this piece, and I'm doing a watercolor painting. So it was on my end, it was a disaster, right? So that got me thinking, it's like, yeah, it happens. You know, this is the first time. This is the first time that I do the Friday night live stream that something like this happens. Other times it's chill, it's awesome, it's great. I have an awesome feeling. Everything goes without a hitch, no problem. But this Friday, it was like catastrophic failure on my end, and I gotta tell you, it was all um, it was all self-induced, right? It was all it was all me. Somehow, somewhere, I like broke the alignment, right? Like the world is just right in the universe, and all the stars are lining up, and it's like awesome, man. Friday night live stream, here we go. And then I said, okay, well, let me make this quick change here, because we had already gone to Culver's. My daughter had a concert earlier in the week, and it was late. We had to eat something, so we went to Culver's, right? And not a sponsor, by the way, but we just really love that place. And so, anyways, we go there. We have dinner. So we had already gone to Culver's earlier in the week, and then my wife and I were we were thinking about, well, are we gonna go to Culver's again? And it was totally me. I'm like, you know what? Let's not go there. Let's make a dinner at home. I'll do the Friday night live stream, and then maybe later on, if we want ice cream or something like that, excuse me. if we want ice cream or something like that, we could always go out to Culver's, right? Or Dairy Queen or whatever it is. Because we like that. We like little snacks and stuff on the weekend. Um, so I said, let's just make a dinner here at the house. I'll do the live stream. Everything will be super awesome, and go from there. So um, I'm planning out my weekend. There's every couple of weeks or so, I get together with my gaming group. Um, so that's on the calendar. It's like, all right, Friday night, I'm gonna do that. Saturday, I'm gonna do my show on D Live. I'm gonna work on some stuff in the house that I'm working on because I'm still doing home modifications and stuff like that. I ordered a brand new mixer for my microphone because like this is driving me insane, and I didn't want to bring attention to the microphone, but I'm just running this XLR mic through my computer. But I'm getting a mixer that's gonna help me with the audio of that because just the progression of things is changing. I used to do the show with my cell phone, and now it's like multiple cameras and a lot more equipment and the microphone and this and that. My son also got the same toner microphone that I have, and granted, I don't want to take anything away from Toner. They're fantastic microphones, especially if you're starting out. This is a great microphone, and I swapped it out. I used to have a blue one, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I now have a black one because he had a black one, I had a blue one. We swapped it out because my BOT10ART colors tend to be black and red and stuff like that, and I kind of want to stay in the same theme. So we swapped that out, and you could start seeing the progression of like it's like that little button in the control is like blinking beep 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 beep, and I was like, turn that off. Yeah. Keep flying, right? Yeah, keep flying. And I mashed that little red button. I'm like, forget it, we're gonna keep going. The microphone settings all changed. And I'm feverishly like, nope, this doesn't sound right, there's something different, blah 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 blah. So that happened. I broke the arc, or the one of the key components of the Friday night live stream, which was to not go to Culver's. We have a lot of friends that work there, and we have a good time. The girls have a good time every time we go. So that was now broken, and I'm messing around with the microphone, this and that, whatever. It's almost showtime, and here we go. It's like, all right, it's time for the show. We got to do this. Fire it up, everything, and I open up Restream, and then I failed to realize that there's certain there's certain tiers within Restream, because earlier in the week, a buddy of mine who is also uses Restream and is on D Live and stuff like that, Winter Cobra. Hello, if you're out there listening, what's up, brother? He's like, oh yeah, man, you could view all the chats from everywhere on Restream, and I was like, sweet. So I'm brand new to Restream, and I was like, awesome, man. So I go to the site, I have it set up, this and that, and it's like, I'm not getting chat feeds. Like, what's going on? And I'm struggling with that, and I'm like, what's going on? What is it? Like, why am I not? Okay, I gotta go back and open up the chat for YouTube, because that's where the community is, and they're communicating with me. And I gotta tell you, doing the Friday night live stream without a chat sucks. It totally sucks, because it changes the mood of the actual show. Like, the podcast is not a big deal. I'm just talking, right? I'm just talking to you. You're listening. There's no interaction. I mean, I guess there could be, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna open that can of worms just yet. But it is essential. It is key to have the chat while the Friday night live stream is going on, because and I love the community. I love them so much. They are so cool. Every single week, man, they take an hour out of their week and give it to me. And I have to say thank you guys so much. Thank you so very much. I love and appreciate you all. Uh, but that's where the jabs come, right? Oh, look at Laz, he messed up right there, blah blah blah. Like, all right. Or or I'm saying something, but the trivia queue is still playing, and I have to shut that off, and you know, and they razz me about that, or they'll tease me and joke, and the inside jokes, the community jokes, uh, stuff like the cricket, right? That's one of our things, and I'm working on it. I'm working on the cricket, I swear. Uh, but I meant to say chicken, and I said cricket, and somehow we came up with a mascot for the channel called the cricket. So stuff like that, right? Stuff like that happens in the chat, and it's so like vital to have the chat. I can't express that enough. So I go onto YouTube and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll just have the YouTube chat open. It'll be fine. Oh, by the way, this is Magmortar. I figured, why not do a fire Pokemon? And I did a rough sketch, but the rough sketch doesn't really show up very well on this camera, so I'm just kind of tracing it over. We're gonna go ahead and do some coloring today. For all you Bob Ross people out there, we're gonna be using our burnt sienna. um, but anyway, see, I squirreled myself. Oh, that's right. I go back to YouTube and I'm like, sweet, usual spot, little gear, hit that to pop out the chat. And normally I have the chat in my second monitor, and I have OBS right here on my primary monitor, and I click on that, and it's like, whoop. Well, that's different. I haven't seen that before. And it's like chat options, but the pop out chat is not there. So I don't want the video to be playing and with the chat underneath. I just want the chat window, right? Because I mean, I do all of this with my laptop, so I have limited resources. And I don't want to eat up the CPU and this and that, whatever, and it becomes a mess, right? So at this point, I'm doing the show. Hey guys, whatever, blah blah blah. Oh, let me open the chat real quick. Boop. And then my wife comes in here into the studio and on the sideline, and hey, you're lagging really really bad. I'm like, what? Crap. Okay. All right. So yeah, it's frozen. It's like, oh my, okay, okay, and ring, ring, now it's the second alarm, beep, beep. Yeah. Turn that off. All right, Keith, let me try this again one more time with it. Let me turn this restream crap off, and I'm just losing it. I'm losing it. Cool, calm, and collected, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, the Avenger. What's your favorite Avenger show? Oh my God. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, cool. Or not show, but character. Oh yeah, Iron Man. Everybody's gonna say Iron Man. Yeah. Yeah. Oh shoot. Oh no, no, no. This is not working. Oh darn. And it's like, oh shoot, oh shoot. Oh no, it's not working. And it's hilarious, right? Like, if there was another camera that was seeing everything I was doing, like, you guys would lose it. You guys would lose it. You would die laughing, and it's so funny. And I would too. But at the moment, it was certainly not funny because, again, like I said, I want to provide great content. I want to provide great content. And I'm losing it. I'm like, nope, just going with it. Whatever. Forget the chat, forget this. Just do the piece, do the Friday night live stream like you used to, right? Because when I had my cell phone, the chat was going, but I could never see it because it was basically live streaming from my phone. So the notifications would be popping up on the phone, but I had the phone up here where this camera is, and so I couldn't see it. I didn't know anything that anybody was saying before OBS, before any other stuff, before I figured out how to do all of this. And let this be a lesson to anybody who tries to do anything, but this is mainly geared to artists. when stuff like this happens, um, at this point, I've abandoned the chat. I'm like, we're out. We're not doing. We're not doing this. We are not gonna do this. So I'm flying. At this point, it's like the main or like if I feel like I was on a like a two prop fighter jet, or not jet plane, but a fighter plane, one of those old like Mustangs or whatever. And it's like, the one engine is messed up and beep 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 beep. Oh my god, we're gonna crash and burn. We're gonna crash and burn. And I do the piece. I go to do my strange but true segment of the live stream. It's where I give a strange fact, right? It's something fun, something neat. Every week I look up something strange and I share it with the community. And I go to load that up, and it's like, all right, nope, I lost my page. So now I'm like scrambling to find, and I have the page like saved on my phone. So it's like nothing different, nothing changed, but somehow, some way, I realigned the stars and like screwed everything up. And it's like frantically look, here's a strange fact, guys. Blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't the one that I had originally found, and it wasn't what I wanted to give the community, but forget it. There's no coming back from this one. There's no coming back. So I do that. And keep rolling with the punches. Keep rolling with the punches. So, I'm getting notifications. It's like, it's back, it's good. Live stream is good. Beep beep boop, and turn that one off. And all right, cool. We're gonna make it, guys. We're gonna make it. It's like I could see, I'm flying over the water, and I can see the land. It's like, all right, yes. And just kind of nursing this baby in, and I'm talking to everybody and doing my thing, and or just doing my thing, but I can't read any chats. I don't know what anybody's saying. I'm kind of there, not there, but now I'm sweating. Now I'm really like, all right, I gotta drive this baby home. I gotta fly this plane home. And then it comes the time to play trivia, and I found we play trivia, and basically I have this loot box, if you would. It's basically a box of goodies that I give the winner of the trivia. I do it twice a year, one in the summer, one in Christmas time. And it's something new to our channel. So we start playing trivia, and I found this Avengers related trivia. I took a screen grab of it and I saved it, and then it's like, all right, guys, it's time to play trivia. Everything, and I go to click on my photos, and bump bump. It's like, great, image cannot be found. I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Like, I know I saved it. I know it's here. Turn off the phone, turn it back on, go into the camera, where I have my screenshot, and it's like, wow, okay, here we go. I do the trivia. I do the trivia question, and everything's good. But for that split moment, that happened to my phone, and there was no reason at all for that to happen. I didn't have, I had plenty of space. I didn't have any other programs running. There was, for all intents and purposes, my phone was operating at normal capacity. All right, normal capacity, and then that happened, and I'm like, it's like, and just trying to like keep it flying, and some things are happening with the piece that I'm not too excited about. It turned out really well, but I just didn't like the way that it went down, because what I had planned was, for this piece to be like super awesome. Uh, I planned for the live stream to be awesome, and it's not. It's like all of this stuff is happening. It's like, oh my god. Uh, and again, it's like I've never experienced this, because for the most part, it goes without a hitch, right? The live stream goes awesome. Everything is great. We go to Culver. Hey man, that was a great show. Oh, thank you. And everything is everything is going great. Everything's lining up. But not, yeah, not yesterday. Ooh, this might be a little too dark. Let's see. Um, Magmortar has a couple of gray areas, and I have this paper on the side so it doesn't transfer through. Let me see. This is my number 6. Let me try it at number 4. Hold on, guys. Aha, number 4. So I don't know if you have wanted to do a show or decided to do something on YouTube or anything like that, but I can tell you, when stuff like this is happening, oh buddy, there's no escaping it. There's no way to get out of it. And like I said, you're locked in. You're locked in for the ride. Like, make it happen. And so I immediately started thinking about artists and people like myself, and I got through it. It's like she's banged up and damaged, but but I landed the plane, right? It's like it ended everything. I did my show just like normal, turned off the camera, and just kind of did, like, for everybody watching, I did one of these like this, like. Oh my god. What a disaster. What a disaster. What happened? What the hell? And my beautiful wife, she's like, it was all right. I mean, yeah, it lagged. It lagged in the beginning, it lagged in the end. But other than that, I mean, it was the live stream like it normally is. And she tells me that, and I'm like, God bless you. You're so nice to me. Like, you are so nice to me, my love. That was a complete disaster. You know what? My number 4 is kind of dry, so we got to go with this one. And I remember just sitting there, because what I do is I'll watch the playback just to make sure that I wasn't out of frame, or just every Friday night I set the thumbnail. I set the thumbnail. I'm looking at the video and whatever I could learn from it to to not do it again or whatever. Yeah, just basically taking show notes, right, of what I can do and what things I can change and make things better and this and that, whatever. So I remember just sitting there, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the worst live stream ever. Worst live stream ever. Like, why are people even gonna watch this crap? And I'm totally like killing myself, right? I'm killing myself over this thing. And that's the takeaway. That was the moment. That was the great takeaway, the crash and burn. It's like, look, um, these things happen. These things happen, and it's weird because, like I said, I don't have things go wrong very often. Uh, thank God for that. Knock on wood and everything else. Um, but I do. But when they do happen, they're pretty heavy. All right, they're pretty heavy. Like in the past, I've talked about a lady who ran the red light, hit my car, destroyed it, and kept on going. I was in a hit and run. Um, all of these different things. My house was destroyed by the hurricanes, and so on and so forth. Like all of these things happen, but when they happen, it's like a big thing. It's a big deal. Um, so for a while, I kind of forgot, or somehow I felt like, we're gonna do the live stream like we always do. Everything's great, and it was so naive. It was so naive of me to think about that, and just like, yep, we're gonna do this. Um, oh, by the way, I normally do this for about 30 to 35 minutes, but I hope you guys don't mind. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this piece because it represents something. Usually, I would just cut off right here, whether it was completed or not. But I kind of feel like I gotta finish this. All right, so stick with me. If you guys want to tune off and watch later, that's fine. But I'm gonna go the distance on this one. I hope you don't mind. And so, going back to that, I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, first this, first that, my chat, this and that, blah blah. Like, holy crap, And I was so bummed out. I was so bummed out. I'm like, man, it's Avengers weekend. I picked a really cool piece to do. Um, Everybody was watching, because that's the thing too. Like, what I love about the live stream community is that it changes, right? Because some people, of course, people have things to do. So like, one person has to go to a dance recital, the other person has a wedding, and this and that, whatever. But I know all of these people, right? And they just come in and out of the live stream, and that's what I love about them. Again, shout out to my crowd. Sometimes it's like, hey man, we're wrapping up here in the supermarket, but we just wanted to jump on and say, wish you good luck. And people are in Walmart, walking around in Walmart watching the live stream, or hey man, I'm driving and I'm listening to you. I can't watch you, but I'm listening to you. Good luck, and stuff like that, right? So that's what really counts. So this is going in my head. I'm like, man, what did I? It was gonna be so awesome, and I'm thinking, man, I gotta do something. And for a minute there, I thought about going back online and like, hey guys, like, I am truly sorry for everything that happened tonight, and I was thinking about it. It's like, so I said, well, you know what, I can go back online and just kind of explain it to everybody. And I said, nope, that's what Noodle Doodle is for. And so that right there started changing the way I was thinking. I was like, you've had stuff happen before. It's not, get over yourself, dude. Like, get over yourself. You've had stuff happen to you. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it's the Avengers. Yeah, it's super awesome. Yeah, the piece you did is cool. But they loved it. The community liked it. It was cool. Yeah, you had some technical difficulties. You had some technical difficulties. Those things happen. Not a big deal. But I failed to realize why I do it. And I thought about a show that I did. And I did a show, and same thing. I packed for the show. I had all my stuff ready. I had all my artwork. Okay, art prints here, this and that, whatever, blah blah, so on and so forth. Let's go, get to the show, and I start unpacking everything and start setting up, and I'm like, oh man, I forgot my clips. Oh dude, where's my PayPal swiper? Like, what the? I'm missing a whole entire, full panic mode, this and that, whatever. And again, it's like, it worked out. The person next to me is like, look, dude, you could use my Square, you could use my Square account, whatever. If you get some print orders, let it go through me, and I'll give you all the money through PayPal. This and that, and it worked out, right? So all my sales were done that way. We had some cash sales that were good, so I was like, cash only, because I forgot my stuff. I got some commissions, so on and so forth, blah blah. The show went fine, even though something bad happened. I made it through. And that's the thing. Like, we keep forgetting that we get past these things, or it's like bad things happen and we get past them. It's like it's only temporary. It's not going to be that long. And so, for me, like I said, I'm sitting there, I'm soaking in my juices, just like, and I started thinking about that show. I started thinking about what hey, talk about this on Noodle Doodle. Turn it into something positive. Turn, an obstacle into an opportunity. And that's one of the things that I always tell myself, right? Turn an obstacle into an opportunity. So here it is. Here's the opportunity. And, get past it. Don't go online. Don't do this, get past it. Get ready to do your D Live show. Have dinner, this and that, whatever. Get past it, right? Just start getting past it. So, that's what I did. That's what I did. I immediately started like, well, wait a minute. I do this, I do this for them. I enjoy artwork. I love artwork. I want to share my life, my talent, my time with other artists, help other artists that may be starting out and don't know. So I'm kind of like helping them pave the way. Um, the community is understanding. Everything is fine. I watched the video again, and it was crunchy, man. It was really grueling to uh, to sit there and see the video frozen, and for seconds that felt like eternity. It just felt like forever. But then my wife, again, my beautiful queen, she comes in. She's like, dude, there's a frame in the video where your face is hilarious. It's like, some, and I'm like, what, where? Like, and I look at it, I'm like, immediately bust out laughing. I look so stupid. I'm like, something like that, and I start laughing. I'm like, oh my god, dude, I'm telling you, this is the worst Friday night live stream ever. And we start going over it again, and it's not that bad, this and that, whatever, blah blah blah. But she, she brought me back down. She's like, all right, Ace, all right, Ace, put on that suit, put on your flight suit again. Here's your flight plan, and go do D Live like a real man. Okay, mommy, and I'm like, yeah. So I start doing stuff around the house. We went out for a while, this and that, whatever. We come back. My wife is making dinner, and yeah, I start, drawing and stuff like that. Start drawing on D Live. People are tuning in. It's like, wow, man, that's so cool. You made a Naruto, and I did it with watercolors and this and that, whatever. And at this point, my wife is playing Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption 2. She's playing that because I'm playing it too. So she's playing it right here in the back. I'm doing my thing. It's like all kinds of funny things are happening in the game. I'm doing this Naruto piece, and that moment in my mind, I was like, all right, I redeemed myself, man. Check out this Naruto that I'm making. Like, this is awesome. And it's like it all starts coming back. Starts coming back. I finish this. We have dinner. We have a nice little Sunday ice cream treats that my wife makes. We have those. Everything, everything is one in the world again. Everything is coming back together. I haven't used these markers in a while. I hope they're good. But anyways, everything is now, coming back to normal. Everything is feng shui, if you would. And I'm getting my mojo back, and I started thinking about it, and I'm like, man, this is why you do it, dude. You do it because you love it. Yeah, things happen. There's technical difficulties that happen. Yeah, whatever. We work past those things, and the same thing. The same thing with the microphone. I know my audio quality right now is not very good, but my video quality has improved massively, and I'm kind of proud of that. I have all my overlays and cool artwork and this and that, whatever. Like I dig all that. But my my mixer is coming in soon. I got a new mixer and just always tinkering, always improving, and that's the big takeaway. Like you have to know that things are gonna happen, and it's all how you bounce back from those things. You can't sit there and just be negative all the time, right? So, um, like the saying goes, you're the average of five. So if you hang out with five negative people, you're the average of that. You're gonna be a negative person. And for me, I try to stay away from negative people, and because I don't want that. I don't want that negativity in my life. I don't want um, to be miserable. Oh, everything sucks, and Eeyore my life away. Or Eeyore my way through life. I don't want to do that. I have a good time, and this is one of those things. This is one of those things that by me talking about it here, it's gonna make its way back to the live stream and be like, "Hey lads, you remember that one time where your face looked like this?" And somebody will have a screen grab of it and put it in the chat. I just know it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna die laughing, and it's gonna be fantastic, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that happening because that's gonna bring it all back home, and just kind of remind me, not to take myself so serious. And for the most part, I don't. For the most part, I don't take myself serious. I joke a lot. I poke fun at myself. Like a lot of the times, if I'm doing right before I go live, I test everything. So I do a quick little video, and it'll be something like blah 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 blah. Welcome to BOT10ART. I'm an artist. Blah blah blah. And I do stupid stuff like that. But it breaks it all up, because if not, I'll be like this, stiff, like, I'm Lazaro Gomez. Welcome to BOT10ART, and this is, and it's like, nope, that does not work. When you do this, and this is good advice, all right, this is good advice for anybody starting out. If you're a artist, or you want to start doing videos wherever it is, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, or whatever, dude, just be yourself, all right? Just be yourself. Be natural, have fun with it, because if you're gonna super polish everything, hi, look at me, I'm black pop pop, and it's like you hear it all the time on YouTube. You have these people, hey guys, welcome, blah blah blah, and it's nope, that's not it either. It's like, there's a certain level of truth in everything that you do. It's like they say, behind every joke there's a little bit of truth. It's the same thing, right? So when you're watching this, this is my podcast, so it's like, this is as Lazarus as you're gonna get. Like, this is really me. There's no bells, there's no whistles. The most I'll do is some, fancy stuff when it comes to Friday night, right? Hey, welcome everybody to BOT10ART. My name is Lazaro Gomez, and you're tuned in to the Friday night live stream. I'll do something like that. It's not really me, but it's kind of jazzing it up. But this is it. This is really me. So it's like, you have to remember that. Be yourself. And all of those things started coming back, and I just started like, yep, this is why I do it. Everything will be fine. They're gonna tease me later on. It's gonna be funny, and everything will be right. And so you can't take yourself too serious when it comes to this sort of stuff. You got to know that things are gonna happen. There's some people that are just figuring it out. The same way with artwork. You have people that create artwork but are afraid to show it. They're afraid to, oh no, they're gonna shred my work. Or somebody that's a lot further along or better skilled artist, oh, they're gonna shred my work, I don't want them to look at it. You got to get past all that, because that's the only way that you're gonna learn. That's the only way that you're gonna improve and get better. And for me, I always welcome mistakes. Like, I never hide my mistakes. If I did something wrong, it's like, yep, hey, I screwed up. I screwed up. But you come back from it, you learn from it, and something better comes out of it. Something comes out of it that you learn. All right, you learn from the experience. I was neglecting my coffee. It tastes so good. It tastes so good. So anyways, for today, this is it. This is the last show that I do for today. I I cool down and just relax the rest of the Sunday. I'll usually this is our chill day. We kind of take it easy. We do our laundry, we watch movies or play video games, or just kind of relax. And yeah, doing these videos, it's a lot of work. A lot of people will tell you that it's a lot of work, and the you have some channels or some people that do a show on a daily basis, like every single day they're doing this. I don't have um, I don't have that kind of energy to just do a stream like every single day. It's a lot of work. Um, for me, just doing these three shows is a lot, but I enjoy it. I enjoy every moment of it. When I make a thumbnail for my videos and it's funny or whatever, it's like, oh yeah, that's good. This is good. It's gonna be funny. That brings me joy. Uh, picking the topics brings me joy. So like that's what I mean. Like I'm doing it because I love it, and that's very important. And you can't really think about the mistakes if you're building something. It's just like yeah, let's say you're cooking. A lot of people are like, oh well, I can't cook. I'm horrible at it. This and that, whatever. So I mean, you're gonna keep being horrible at cooking if you don't cook, right? If you don't make those mistakes and kind of um, figure that out. It's like, oh, you know what? I forgot the sugar, and it's like that's why they taste kind of bad. Hey, I apologize. You normally hear people like that. Hey, I'm sorry. I was trying to do this thing. It's a new recipe, but those people are being honest with themselves. They're like, hey, look, I love cooking. This is my thing. I'm trying it all out, and that's just the way that it goes. It's like you have to pick people to test your food, to know if it's good, to know if you're doing a good job, and what you could change and what you can do different. And the same is true for all businesses. You could be an artist and say, okay, well, I'm just gonna draw one thing and one thing only because that's what I'm good at. And that right there is just a catastrophic failure. You can't do that. You can't just stick to one thing because then you're not growing. You're not growing as an artist. You're not learning anything new, and you have to kind of reinvent yourself every once in a while, just to retain the attention of people, because we live in a time where everybody is in a hurry, everybody is fast, everybody's rushing along, doing this, doing that, high levels of stress for everybody, and they're not going to necessarily take the time to they're not going to take the time to look at your artwork if it's something that you've done over and over and over again. So um, your art style is always going to be there, no matter no matter what you create. I could look at a piece. It's like, let's take Chris Grimley for instance. He's one of my favorite artists, but he does a lot of like horror related artwork, and right away you can see it. You can see the artwork and be like, "Yep, that's Chris Grimley," you know, and you could identify his artwork right away. But a few years back, he was commissioned by Disney to do some Disney related, or do some Star Wars related pieces, and that is not his wheelhouse. He does not do stuff like that. But when I saw the artwork and when these pieces came out, I was like, oh yeah, that's Chris Grimley, dude. That's awesome. And so that's what I mean. Your style will always be there, no matter what you do. But your content can change, and I think that's really cool. It's like you have artists that just do one thing and one thing only, and it's like, yep, okay, we got it. And um, yeah, you're not advancing. If you're not making mistakes. So for me, that's what I think about. I'm like, okay, well, is this out of the realm of possibility for me? Like, because usually when I pick a topic of what I want to create, that's what I think about. It's like for a long, long time, I didn't want to be. I used to be on this website called CG Talk, and I was really big on CG Talk. And there you have like really great artists, 2D, 3D artists, all kinds of stuff. Um, people like Ryan Church hang out there. And if you're not familiar with Ryan Church, he did all the concept artwork for Star Wars movies. That guy hangs out there, and the level of art skill is incredible. Digital artwork like Photoshop and all kinds of stuff. So I was like, yeah, man, that is great. That's super awesome. And um, just watching those guys and looking at all the different art pieces and stuff like that, I started, I started like, man, what the hell am I doing? Why am I not working like this? Why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing that? But I failed to realize that, at the time, I failed to realize that this is all concept art. It's like I don't do concept art, so it's okay. But if I was like, if I woke up years ago and said, "Man, I want to be a concept artist for video games and movies and this and that, whatever," then yeah, that's the right place to be because you're gonna learn so much. And I did, in fact, learn a lot from being there. But uh, I knew that I was never going to create a piece of artwork the way that they do because it's just totally different. It's like it's a completely different art style altogether. It's not gonna happen, right? Um, and those kinds of things. So um, you have to try. You have to try different ways of thinking, and you have to try a lot of different things and not be afraid to fail. Certainly not be afraid to fail because that's gonna hold you back. And I saw recently I saw a really interesting TED talk where the title was "Things in Your Life Are Holding You Back," and I was like, that looks interesting. It's like, what are the things that are holding me back at my house? Like, you know. And this lady, she started talking about how she made a wish list or a bucket list, right, when she was younger. I believe she was in her, I want to say, maybe 20s, early 30s when she made this list. And she had all of these different goals that she wanted to do by the time that she was a certain age, and she realized that she strayed away from those goals a lot. Um, she got wrapped up in the American dream, right? She had a very very nice fancy home. She had the latest and greatest of vehicles. Her and her husband, they were making money, this and that, blah blah. But she was not happy. She was not happy at all. And the list popped up again and made its way to her. And her husband decided, because one of the things that she had put down was to get a master's degree, and another thing that she put down was to live in a foreign country, like outside of the U.S. And the husband said, "Well, why don't we just move to another country and you can do your master's degree there?" And she wanted to do a master's degree in fine art, and she they laughed it off and kind of like, or she laughed it off, I should say. It's like, whatever. But then the husband was like, no, no, really, like, why don't we do that? And that's what they did. And so she's going through the TED talk and she's explaining how she got rid of everything in her house. They had something called an estate sale, which is basically um, a giant garage sale, but everything is included, uh, including the house. So they sold the house, and she keeps talking about all of this stuff, and she's talking about freaking out because it's brand new. They're in a different country. They have nothing. Where do they start? What do they do? So on and so forth. And she made it. Now she's, there in the TED Talk, and she's telling everybody about how she did it and how happy she is, and she doesn't regret a single moment of it. And it's basically everything that she wanted to do. She accomplished it, right? She did it, which was pretty cool. And I remember just watching that, and just getting so much inspiration from that. And then I started thinking, I'm like, well, are there things that are holding me back? You know? And I thought about it, and I'm like, well, no, not really. I pretty much set a plan to do everything that I'm doing now, and I love it. I think it's great. It brings me great joy, except when my live stream crashes and burns. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Uh, but yeah, I always said, well, I want to do something with my artwork. I want to be able to like help other artists. First and foremost, it's like I want to be able to have the creativity and the artistic freedom to do whatever it is I want to do. Like, I don't want to work for a company where I just do concept art. I don't want to work for an ad agency. I don't want to create ads for web, So I want to be able to create whatever I want, whatever I'm in the mood for. It's like if I'm in the mood for drawing Pokemon, that's what I'm going to do. If I'm in the mood for drawing like monsters and, all kinds of weapons or whatever, I'm going to do it. So that was one of my goals. It's like try to either do or get a job doing what I love to do whenever it is I want to do it. And then I was like, YouTube. So I started out there, and I'm like, all right, well, how do I make this happen? What do I need? All right, I need a camera, I need this, I need some lighting, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if you look at my earlier videos on YouTube, they're horrendous, right? They're horrible. And then I started doing all the mistakes that everybody makes, right? Speed paintings and no voiceovers and no talking and no explanation. Just like, here, follow me, come, join me, blah blah blah, and do this and do that. And I went down that path, right? So I committed the same mistake that a lot of people do until I got wise, and I'm like, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm starting to look at videos of like mistakes that people make, and I was committing those mistakes. I was making those mistakes. So I'm like, no, switch it all up. Dude, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm like, I want to have a weekly show because I don't want to do a video every single day. And I want the topic to change because I want to do different things all the time. I don't just want to draw. I don't want to just build props. I don't want to design, toys all the time. I want it to change. The Friday night live stream. Okay, so every Friday night, 8 p.m., once a week, we're going to do a different project. Well, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. You got to stick to one thing and one thing only and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, right, that's the thing. I'm sticking to the one thing, and that's the Friday night live stream. Only the projects change. So there you have it. I'll never be bored. I'll never be bored. I'll never, like, bore the hell out of my audience because it's always going to be different. And that's what I did. So when I look back at that bucket list, I'm like, yep, I'm doing it right here. This is what I want. And then that affords me the flexibility. That affords me the flexibility to do what I want, and I'm happy with that. So I create artwork when I want. I do art shows when I want. I do the Friday night live stream every week, but I do a different project every week. And it's, all the things that I want to do. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. And I started thinking about everything else, and it's like, all right, well, what else do I want to do? It's like, well, I want to travel. Um, I want to be able to, obviously sustain my family. Provide them a nice, safe home and money for education and all, everything else that they want to do. So I'm doing that. Um, and I like I never joined any kind of platform to say, I want 100 million subscribers. I never said that. But I did say it'd be kind of cool if I made these videos and I got paid from them. Like something. Whether whether me doing a video leads to an art print sale, or somehow, some way. And then of course that's when YouTube started monetizing, and it's like, all right, let's give this a go. And then I started seeing the downside to that. It's like, oh, that's why we have so many stupid videos. It's because people are trying to make money off of it and there's no content. It's like, no, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be viewed as that. And that was another thing. It's like, all right, yeah, don't do that. And I haven't. So right now, whether I get paid or not, that's fine. I mean, if I do, awesome. If I don't, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Um, I'm fortunate enough to where, I get a lot of commissions and I get a lot of stuff, and I'm blessed by that, right? So there's always a way. So always think about that too. Like, don't just join on any platform thinking, oh man, I'm here for the money. I want to make money, and that's great. If that's a motivator for you, that's fine. But just know that eventually you're gonna burn. Eventually it's gonna come crashing down. You're not gonna be listening to all the alarms. Me. You're gonna be turning off the alarms. I don't want to hear this crap. I don't want to, because that's what happens. It's in our nature. We can't do something all the time. And interesting enough, I started watching videos of pretty heavy YouTubers, like heavy hitters, right? Crashing, and they were just like burning out. And I can't do this much longer. I can't do that. I can't do this. And so a lot of them were trendy, but there was a lot of them that were legit. They were real. These people were burning out, and great people, talented people. But the problem is that you can't sustain that for very long. So if that is a motivator for you, if you're trying to reach, whatever it is, like on D Live, I know it's like 200, um, I think it's like 200 followers or something like that, but whatever. There's like little goals. The same thing for YouTubers. If you have 1,000 subscribers, you start getting monetized. Whatever that whole thing is. I don't obviously I don't pay attention to any of that crap. Um, if it happens, great. But I'm certainly not doing this for that. I'm doing it because I love it. And of course there's nothing wrong with getting paid for, getting paid for what you love. That's ultimately awesome. And that's on my bucket list. It's like, hey, yeah, it'd be cool if I got paid um to do what I love, right? Everybody wants that. That's the reason why you go to school. It's like you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, just to get the just to get the stereotypical jobs out of the way. You could either be a doctor or a lawyer, son. Um, but no, if that's why people go to school. They go to college and they learn their trade because they want to be in the field of the subject matter or topic that they love. It's just that simple. So they want to get paid for doing something they love, right? Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's so much more. There's so much more in life when money is not just the main motivator. For some people, it's like, look, I just want to make enough money to travel to, you know, I don't have that many bills, so I don't have that many distractions. I want to read, or whatever the case may be. Like whatever your passion is. There's some people that are like, you know what, I love doing ceramics and that's my passion. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. You just got to go for it. But the main takeaway here is, like I said, um, make sure you're doing what you love, because if you're not doing what you love, um, man, you're just doing a huge injustice to yourself, right? Huge injustice. And going back to the whole crash and burn, I think that's what hurt me the most. It's like because I love doing the Friday night live stream, and I love making videos. I love creating artwork. I love talking to everybody out there, and when people ask me questions, I definitely answer back, and just kind of it's not it's not a bad thing for me to have all of that happen. Like I'm cool with all of it, and that's what hit me the hardest on Friday. But luckily, I got luckily I got past it. I got past the crash and burn. All right, we're pretty much wrapping up here um, with this mag mortar. I'm using this Faber Castell brush pen, which I've had forever, just kind of thickening up the lines here and there, giving the piece a little bit more character. I don't normally draw Pokemon, so it's a nice departure, I guess, for me from what I normally do. But yeah, yeah, that works. That works. And then of course I like to use a smaller micron. I was using an 03 to ink everything in, but I like to get my 01 and just add little details here and there. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. We haven't really talked much about the piece. Um, I I normally do. I normally talk about the piece that I'm creating and why I'm doing it. But yeah, this is a cool little exercise. Drawing flame Pokemon. I used to collect a lot of Pokemon cards. I never really um, never really played the video games. I know my son played a lot of them, and he enjoyed them, but I never did. Well, I never played them. They're cool. I just never played the games, but they're neat to draw, and everyone is different. That's why you got to catch them all. Ah, dad joke. All right, so I'm pretty much wrapped up right there. There you have it. Something busting into flames. It was certainly my live stream. It crashed and burned on Friday, uh, but a lot of good came out of it, and I hope that I gave that to you. I hope that this didn't come across as like, wow, you're a stupid live stream, blah blah blah. Like it's not that. Um, I just want to make sure that if you're an artist and you're trying to do stuff like this and things go wrong, yeah, cry about it. Uh, like my mother-in-law says, have a good cry about it, and that's it. And she used to tell my wife that. Uh, and that's it. Just have a good cry about it, get it all out of your system, and then charge up for something else. So, yeah, make sure that you're doing that, and things change. Things get better. You don't have to be all doom and gloom all the time. Nobody wants that, and that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, follow, subscribe, do whatever it is that you got to do to make sure that you know that I do this every Sunday at 10 a.m. We went really long. We went for about an hour and 10 minutes. Normally it's about a 30-minute show. Uh, I do apologize for that, but I thank you if you went the distance and stuck along. Um, have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I hope you guys have an awesome week. And if you've seen Avengers, don't spoil it for me. I haven't seen it yet. Don't you hate those people? Don't spoil it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, not hate those people, but hate that act. Yeah, whatever. You know, if you don't want to get spoiled, it's up to you not to get spoiled. But anyways, with that, I digress. I wish you all, like I said, I wish you all a very happy weekend, rest of the weekend, whatever's left of it. A great week, and we'll come back and do it all over again, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thank you for watching. My name is Lazaro Gomez. This is BOT10ART, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. We'll see you next time.